Most people come to the UK looking for jobs. But what if the real opportunity is to create them? I think it's time we start changing our mindset from job seekers to job creators. Today's guest is Arjun. He came to the UK on a student visa, just like thousands of international students do every year. But instead of only focusing on finding a job, he decided to build something of his own. Today, he runs his own company in the UK through this self-sponsorship route. Now, before you think this was an overnight success story, it wasn't. There were challenges, there were failures, there were moments of uncertainty. But business was in his blood and he kept going. So in today's podcast, we are going to unpack his entire journey. Student visa to founder, how he started his company, how self-sponsorship works, mistakes he made along the way, challenges international students should be aware of, and whether entrepreneurship is a realistic option for immigrants in the UK or not. So, if you ever thought, could I build something of my own in the UK? This conversation is for you. So, let's welcome Arjun. Hi Arjun, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And if you don't mind, can you introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Hi Sarika, thank you so much for calling me on podcast. My name is Arjun. मैं UK में हूँ. I do social media consulting. I help people to grow the brands with the help of social media. Startup का एक पूरा online school चला रहा हूँ.
How did you move to the UK?
मैं UK आया था 2021 में. So when I started my journey as an interior designer in UK, काफ़ी dreams थे. So I have to crack a good job and then I have to go for a good kind of profile जहाँ पे मैं अच्छे काम ले सकूँ. But things change. Destiny में कुछ अलग लिखा होता है. So एक अंदर से हमेशा इच्छा थी कि मैं स्टार्टअप के ऊपर काम करूँ rather than मैं सिर्फ डिग्री बेस्ड करियर करूँ. तो स्टार्टअप और कोचिंग में काफ़ी इंटरेस्ट था. सो आई रन माई ऑनलाइन बिजनेस स्कूल टुडे, जिसमें वी टेक लॉट ऑफ क्लाइंट्स जहाँ पे उनको बेसिक से हम लोग ट्रेन करते हैं. सो आई लव दैट कोचिंग थिंग एंड दैट्स हाउ माई करियर इज गोइंग ऑन राइट नाउ.
Okay, so I want to understand from you, how did your mindset change from looking for a job now to giving job to people? Because when students move here to the UK, the first thing they look for internship, part-time job, how to get skilled worker visa. But you are quite different because from day one, maybe you wanted to start your own business. So what was your mindset when you landed here in the UK?
So when I came in UK, it was never a plan to go for a business. But after 2 years, when I just told my mom that what if I just make a startup? So my mom's condition was just once, don't leave a job, do anything side by side, that's fine. So I started my content creation journey, went viral after 3 months, and then I was just looking for good opportunities in the way. A lot of opportunities came through networking. Strong point if you are in UK. Networking will give you enormous amount of opportunities rather than even a degree in UK. So networking gave me a lot of opportunities. Then I started working on my own startup, which is social media consulting. A lot of people used to ask me how to grow social media channels. A lot of people ask me, okay, can you guide us in our business, how to grow it with the social media? So I started social media consulting. And there will be lots of ups and downs whenever you come to UK. But make sure whenever you come, at least give it a chance that you do on some startup after your job, after your studies, so that it might be your full-time job and biggest opportunity in life.
Okay, we'll get into detail in a bit,
Yeah.
but I want to take a step back.
Yeah.
I want to again bring you back to the day when you came here to the UK, okay? Because I interact with the students, they are here now who are struggling even thinking of a part-time job.
Yeah.
So when you landed here, did you not think, okay, oh my God, how to find a part-time job? I need to survive. How do I pay my loans maybe, or how to, because the cost of living in the UK is pretty high. So how did you survive that stage, that period? Because you did not get into the business from day one, right? Because during your student visa, you are allowed to work only 20 hours per week, right? So what did you do during that phase and how your mindset changed? So I wanted to learn that journey from you first.
Okay. So 2021, I came with a huge debt of 25 lakh rupees. I started working as a student in Amazon. Then I was doing a part-time job. During studies, a lot of struggle happened. Then later on, when I got graduated, I went rather than an unskilled job. My motive was clear. I'm from a Marwadi background, so I wanted to work in a store rather than any kind of warehouse. So I started working in a store. I got really good friends there. That store is somewhere I learned a lot of things. So my learning phase was always open compared to execution phase. So I was always learning about startup, then Y Combinator, then Shark Tank India started that time when I came. So I was pretty much the only show which I binge watched till now is Shark Tank India. My mindset started changing very fast and I executed a lot of things later on. A lot of business I failed as well, around 4 businesses till now, but it's more about like, have you actually tried how to work on that? When student comes here on a lot of huge debt, So they have to make sure that they don't adopt too much UK lifestyle. Rather than they should adopt the UK growth culture rather than spending too much money on expensive phones or shoes or let's say expensive luxury items. They should focus more on learning part. They should do some courses, get some mentorship programs. So even I pay a lot for mentorship programs since long time. So whenever a student comes, debt is just one part of the journey. Losing a career, not giving a try to a startup, that's one of the biggest loss compared to debt. Debt can be repaid. A Marwadi or Gujarati knows how to repay the debt easily. So give it a try that when you come with a debt, work on something which is out of your work hours. So that will help you the most to get rid of loan as well.
Okay, so because you come from a Marwari family, is that the reason you wanted to have your own startup or you want to have your own business?
So I was 8 years old.
That was in your blood.
Yeah, so I was 8 years old when I started handling my family business.
You see, this is what I was missing because when I interact with most of the students here, they always cry about job. Because it's the same mindset. You're coming here, will you land a job or not? Because of the debt that you have, 20 lakhs Indian rupees or 25 lakhs depending on which university and what course you have taken. So I think that you already have that business thing in your blood. So you knew it, you need to start doing your own business in the UK rather than focusing full time on the job.
Yeah, the best part is rather than looking for a job, at least give it a try. Despite I was 8 years old, doesn't mean that I would be doing a great business successful in my life. A lot of people start young age businesses, but it's more about, are you still learning? Are you still adopting the new culture, the changes, the market? That's how you grow the business. So even I can give excuses like COVID happened when I got graduated. I had a lot of debt. I didn't get a good job, but there are no excuses in my life. So that's how I work. Whatever we do as a businessman, we have to focus on just staying positive all the time. Otherwise, if you are negative, your whole company can see a good downfall.
Yeah.
So stay positive whenever you do. But let's say a student who's coming, lot of struggle they face in their personal life. I've seen a lot of student stories here. But only those who survive, who are ready to ride the boat, despite of any kind of storms which comes in their way.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to ask you questions when you started here.
Okay.
So it's not easy to be a student here in the UK, right? You have to study, you have your assignments, you have dissertations, and then you also do your part-time job, and then you are trying to learn the new culture. When you were going through so many things in your head, how did you concentrate on finding or establishing your business?
Okay, so it's very hard. My learning, the way of learning which I adopt is very different. I don't even touch books to be honest, but podcast, YouTube, these are my biggest learning sources. Then ChatGPT was my friend. Now Claude is my friend. So I did ChatGPT recently. So the amount of learning which I wanted, the only difference was I used to consume the learning part as per my choice rather than some else's way. So let's say if I want to learn more about podcast or something, podcast used to be my greatest gift till now, which I received in my life. I used to read books, audiobook subscription I always had compared to Amazon Prime and Netflix.
Good.
So it's more about your approach, how you work on it.
Yeah.
As a student, you have to spend a lot of money on these things because this gives you the best return in life compared to just take a job. Because even a basic job, you cannot even survive in UK right now. So better work on rather than just a job. Job is 9 to 5, but business is always 5 to 9.
Yeah.
So the more amount of efforts you put in 5 to 9, that matters. So I always ask my question to my clients that tell me how many hours you put in your business every single day. And that clearly says how much you're dedicated to your own business. So just love your business like a baby.
Yeah.
But you have to be patient enough that because it's a baby, you have to handle a lot of stress. And then how you can grow a business in UK.
Oh, definitely. So when you were going through in your student phase, like you did your part-time job, you were focusing on learning, whether it was ChatGPT, AI or podcast, it was your biggest gift. But you did not leave your part-time job because like we mentioned, you had to survive in this country because it's so hard. The cost of living is so high at the moment due to inflation. So you continued that. And after you got your degree, your dissertation was done, then you moved into your post-study work permit.
Post-study work permit.
So talk us through during your post-study work permit to your self-sponsorship. We'll talk about self-sponsorship, about, what is that self-sponsorship in a bit. What did you do in your post-study work permit, which is given for 2 years? So you got it for 2 years, right? So during that period, when you were allowed to do a full-time job, what did you do? Transition from PSW
Okay.
to self-sponsorship.
So I left my Amazon job during my studies,
Okay.
which I was doing part-time 20 hours a week. Then 4 months of gap I had to just to clear my dissertation. After that, I'm being very shameless in this. I was working 2 years in a security business, but I was very clear only in a retail store where I can learn more about beauty industry in UK.
Yeah, yeah, why not?
I was very selfish in that. So
Yeah.
when I started working as security guard, the motive behind working in this job was it was a stress-free job. I don't get tired when I come back home. Long hours I can get as much money I want. So I used to work overtime. So let's say 6 days a week, including one extra overtime shift. So one day it was like 18 hours of shift. So I did those things also. But 2024 was something where before that I told my mom that I want to do some sort of startup. The only person who I wanted to convince was my mom. And my mom says, yeah, it's a green flag, go for it. But I understood in the first 5 months of PSW that, okay, I think I'm not a job person, rather than they are not giving me job.
Okay, good.
Okay, I was blaming myself, not anyone else.
Yeah.
But I was happy that I'm made for business.
Yeah.
So I started content creation journey, 365 days challenge. If you remember, 2024.
Yes, I do remember.
So 3 months later, I went viral.
Yeah.
I wanted to work on a big problem called unemployment.
Yeah.
So I used to upload job and business reels. So I went viral very soon, and that changed my career. So there was no U-turn after that when you go viral on social media for a good cause.
Yeah.
And lot of people who reach out to me, they ask me, okay, how you have started. I said, see, it's not about how you started. It's basically more like, have you started or not? And you need to be imperfect when you start. You don't need to focus on good lighting, good scripting, and too much training on it. I have seen people making the worst amount of videos but still getting the most of the views, and people know their value.
Yeah.
So content creation changed my journey in PSW. So 6 days a week job, and every day I used to hit content on Instagram without any excuse. 365 days was my consistency. My career totally changed after that. So then I started my social media consulting business, and now I help people to get the social media consulting and business at all. Next year, just before my PSW, I got my visa in hand. End of
Awesome.
PSW.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Just want to let my audience know, when you say social media, it's Instagram that he's talking about, right? Not any other social media.
No,
you are on
not
Instagram.
anything else.
So he made a point that he'll be posting videos 365 days on Instagram.
Instagram.
So first of all, why did you choose only Instagram? There are other social media platforms as well. Why only Instagram?
So I failed YouTube badly for 4 years. Then
you tried already YouTube.
Yes. Again, I had my mentor who guided me for social media, and he said, dude, where your audience is spending the most time, you have to be there.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. People are spending more time on Instagram.
Yeah.
Around 3 hours is an average time. And Indians spend on Instagram every day.
For your audience.
Any kind of audience.
But you're not targeting Indian audience. You're in the UK, so you're targeting Indian UK students.
Indians in UK.
Yeah,
so
Indians
that goes
in
3
UK.
hours as well.
Okay, that was 3 hours.
Yeah. And for YouTube, it goes around 40 to 50 minutes.
40 to 50 minutes.
Yes, every day.
For your
Average,
audience.
yes.
And who's your audience? The students.
So my audience is someone who's stuck enough, helpless. They don't know how to get a job, but they're still looking for a job. They are made for business, but they still can't recognize themselves. They are my audience, and most of my clients are Gujarati, so they are from business background. So yeah, I help a lot of clients, and like at least 9 out of 10 are Gujarati people. Yeah.
So you're from Gujarat, right?
I'm from Rajasthan.
You're from Rajasthan, but you have a Gujarati client. So guys, doesn't really matter whether you're from Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, India, UK, doesn't really matter. If you have a problem, if you think you are a businessman, but you think you really require some kind of help or mentorship, he is the guy. He can have a good coaching session with you guys, and see what are the business that you can run. And you also provide full end-to-end support as well.
Yes, I do provide end-to-end support from company registration to social media coaching to making a profitable business in UK. Definitely profit comes after a year. Many business profit comes after 3 months also. I have clients who started profit making after 45 days also. So there are clients who can, the amount of hard work you do, and we are ready to support you after every time, whenever you ask us.
Okay. Thank you, Arjun, so far. So one thing that I want to ask now, if you guys hear what I said, he got self-sponsorship visa. Now remember, in the UK, there's nothing called a self-sponsorship visa. This is a term coined by the UK solicitors. The Home Office have not defined it. So let's get into deep of it. So
Okay.
from my understanding, self-sponsorship is like another skilled worker visa. You can start a company in the UK by registering your business on the company house. But when you apply for a license, you require an authorizing officer, and that authorizing officer needs to be a ILR holder or British passport holder.
Yeah.
So not everybody can find that founder. You
Yeah.
were in the UK. How did you find your own authorizing officer? I don't know he's a founder, co-founder with you or not.
Yeah.
How did you find your authorizing officer?
Yeah, so when I talk about authorizing officer, that person needs to be director as well in the company. So I went through a lot of people who can be my potential directors. Okay, they are capable of understanding my business. They can contribute in my business, and whatever the contribution they will get definitely paid for. But it's more about what kind of people you actually find, but it's more about how you interview them, how you ask them. Even my company, I haven't even taken a single interview of any employee till now. But still they work in long run with me. Reason my approach is very different. So when I was looking for an authorizing officer, I got a lot of recommendations. So at least 20 plus interviews I have taken. But I just found one guy who was ready to contribute rather than skill set, too much skill set in him. So skill set can come by the time. Remember, mindset never comes by the time.
Yeah.
Mindset you have to develop by yourself. So look for a right mindset.
How
rather
did
than
you
skill set.
find that? The question is like, you started your content creation.
Yeah.
So my audience who are struggling here, they all are saying at the moment they're stuck in the job. They're finding it very difficult to find a job.
Yeah.
Now you came as a student, then you got into business, then self-sponsorship. Now you have partnership with your co-founder. Now for students here, if they don't have a good network or relation, if they have to find a director or authorizing officer, where they should
Okay, so
start.
they should make connections at least first of all. At least hire someone who's at least more than 6 months or 1 year more than that. Never hire someone who's new to you. So apply, get some jobs. Post some jobs on Reed or Indeed. Look for people who are ready to be a director in the company. But most important, it's something from your network which can come. So most of my employees comes from my network rather than anywhere from Indeed or Reed. So Indeed is a good way how you can hire someone. Also, you can get in touch with some sort of community events where you find the right mindset people. It's a community. A lot of people I recommend that go to Mandir. There are a lot of Indian people over there,
Yeah,
and who are definitely definitely can contribute. Who are
Yeah.
definitely looking for something to work in your business. So go for some temple events, go for some society events,
Yeah.
and find the right mindset. But at least know your director more than 6 months.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. To my audience, I'm going to add here something.
Yeah.
For networking, first thing that you should do, again, from my learnings, I'm going to tell you. On Facebook, there are many groups created already, like Indians in UK, Indians in London. There are dedicated groups for
Yeah.
women as well. There are dedicated groups for students as well. And not only for London, there are groups for, say, in Scotland, in Glasgow, Indians in Manchester, and Indians in Birmingham. There are many Facebook groups. When you start joining one by one, you get recommendation from Facebook to join others as well.
Yeah.
So make sure you are part of that group so that you know what's happening. You can also ask for help. You will know about the networking event. Whenever time permits, go for that. That is
Yeah.
the first thing. There are a lot of career event as well. I have seen on LinkedIn. Go and enroll and get yourself enrolled for the career notifications. I forgot the name of those groups. I'll put that in the description. Go and join that. And like Arjun was saying, go to temple. That is true.
Temple is one of the best things you
Temple,
can go.
and I know there are a lot of people who go to Gurudwara as
Yeah.
well. You will find a lot of networking there.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to mosque, whatever religion you're following, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We are going to church, wherever you can go, try to find out your own people as well. Look at what they're doing and take some learnings from there and
Yeah.
network with them. Again, one thing, do not just try to be just within your Indian community. You're here in the UK, you need to grow. So go out and meet more people from other country as well and other religion. Because you are in the UK, so the students that you're studying with, maybe they are from Nigeria, maybe they are from China, maybe they are from different parts of the Europe. So learn from them, network with them, understand what the values they have, and that can bring a lot of networking out of all those events that you're going, connecting and meeting people. That is
So,
what I would say.
most important point, my life's advice can be from 0 to 1, I went with my hard work, and 1 to 100 was networking.
Zero. Oh.
It was so strong.
Oh, see, networking really, it's a big thing. Whatever opportunity you get, even it's a paid opportunity, you go for it, and for the different kind of events I have seen, people will just put a minimal amount of say £10 so that they can manage the crowd. If you have to go and attend any of the networking events, definitely go for it.
So one of the recent offer which I had was to be a co-founder in a healthcare company, and the company was quite big. The founder just needed my 40 hours, not to actually work hands-on, but just someone who can actually build a business. Not something, he never asked me for my interview, he never asked me for my technical skills, he never asked me how much businesses I have built. So this is the power of social media and your presence in the market.
Correct.
Offering a co-founder job and 40 hours a week, that's it, not more than that. And that too, just on your mindset, how you build a business. Great thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get anywhere much bigger than this one.
Correct. See, again, Arjun is on self-sponsorship, which is almost like a skilled worker visa. On a skilled worker visa, you work 9 to 5. I think 37.5 hours is the minimum average working hours or number of hours, which the UK government have said. But you're also allowed to do 20 hours extra per week, even on a skilled worker visa, in your job.
Same job role in any other company.
Yes, you can do that. So if you are getting offer, you can do that. For example, like Arjun was getting offer. I don't know whether he's accepting that or not, but you're allowed to do that legally. Okay. So make sure you do legally, irrespective of whether you are called that as a skilled worker visa or self-sponsorship visa.
If I'm on a social media consulting job role, I can only work as a social media consulting job role 20 hours a week extra in any other company other than my company.
Yes, correct. That's it. Okay. Thank you, Arjun. So far, let's move to the next section of this podcast. So, Arjun, let's talk about your struggles and failures as well, because we don't focus on failures. I want to talk about that so that people are aware. When students come here, of course, you won't be getting success from day one. There's one line that somebody told me at very early when I moved to the UK. This country will give you a lot, but it will also take a lot from you. And that stayed with me. Why? Because I know you have to grind yourself a lot. To get the result that you want. So especially when you give that example of your security guard job that you did in the initially warehouse job, that most of the students are all doing. There's no shame in it, because that is the only job you find in the beginning. And to survive in this country, you take up any odd jobs. And in this country, no jobs is looked down upon. So I'm very proud that students are taking up any kind of odd jobs to survive in the country. But talk me through any of your failures as well, and what did you struggle with, so that my students can also know what you were going through.
So I did architecture in India. So जहाँ पे अच्छा खासा struggle मेरा हुआ 1 साल के लिए, ठीक है, काफ़ी सारे सब्जेक्ट बैक रहे थे. Then I covered everything. मेरी फ्रेंड्स लाइफ ज़्यादा उतनी अच्छी नहीं रही है. काफ़ी फ्रेंड्स हैं, बट सिलेक्टिव सर्कल है मेरा. पर्सनल लाइफ में भी ज़्यादा कुछ अच्छा नहीं हुआ, ठीक है. फैमिली मेरी सपोर्टिव है, दैट आई एग्री. When I came here, यहाँ पे फाइनेंस मैनेजमेंट करना वो मेरे अंदर था, बट अगेन डिपेंड ऑन कि यार इस कंट्री में 20 आवर्स अ वीक से ज़्यादा आप नहीं कमा सकते एज स्टूडेंट.
करेक्ट.
सो आई केप्ट मैनेजिंग माई डेट, केप्ट मैनेजिंग माई मनी. काफ़ी सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज आना शुरू हो जाती है. बीइंग अ गाय, यू कम फ्रॉम अ बैकग्राउंड वेयर लॉट ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बर्डन विल ऑलवेज बी ऑन योर शोल्डर. सो यू बिकम मैच्योर क्वाइट अर्लियर इन वॉट एवर एज यू हैव. यहाँ से when I came for interior design, यहाँ पे एक सेमेस्टर मेरा पूरा बैक रहा. ठीक है. यूके आने के पहले I already did 2 businesses which I failed badly. यहाँ पे आने के बाद में one more business I was doing, but that was back in India. तो वो भी फेल हुआ. Okay, I did stock market का one thing. I did interior and architecture design का एक चीज़. I failed my YouTube channel. Back to back failures थे. इसके बाद में जॉब मुझे नहीं लग रही थी. Okay, I stayed in security job. Definitely by choice, but till I get a good job, not forever. ठीक है. फिर वहाँ पे भी 6 दिन जॉब करना है, 1 दिन ओवर टाइम भी करना है, और पर्सनल लाइफ नहीं है. यू डोंट इवन गेट टाइम टू ईट योर फूड प्रॉपरली. तो इतना स्ट्रगल रह चुका है. टाइम मैनेजमेंट भी एक चीज़ थी. आई स्टिल थिंक कि मैं अभी भी फेल हो रहा हूँ कहीं ना कहीं, बट वेन आई लुक एट माई फेलियर एंड सक्सेस रेशियो ना, तो अब सक्सेस रेशियो ज़्यादा है कंपेयर टू फेलियर. वॉट एवर यू डू इन योर लाइफ, यू फेल फर्स्ट. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, आप स्टार्टअप कर रहे हो तो, और स्टार्टअप में 3-4 जो स्टार्टअप जिनके फेल हुए हैं, यू गो फॉर एनीवन. लाइक यू गो फॉर अ बोट फाउंडर, लेंसकार्ट के फाउंडर, यू गो फॉर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, यू गो फॉर एनी अदर बिग कंपनी, स्मॉल कंपनीज, रतन टाटा, हुएवर यू पिकअप, इनके मल्टीपल बिजनेसेस फेल हुए हैं. ओके, एंड दिस इज अ रियलिटी. बट ट्रस्ट मी, एक एवरेज फेल होने का जो रेशियो होता है, दैट इज 3 to 4 times इन अ स्टार्टअप जर्नी. काफी सारा स्ट्रगल मेरा रह चुका है.
But I think when you're saying about your struggle of your startup business, what I'm going to tell my student, doesn't really matter startup failure ho or your job failure or any failure. You learn something from your failure. As long as you're learning from anything you're doing, you are moving ahead in your life. And I like that comparison which you did of success and the failure in your life.
Yes.
Your ratio is higher as compared to failure.
Right,
but you may still fail at each stage,
yes.
which is still okay because your success ratio is higher as compared to failure.
आज भी फेल होती है कुछ चीजें. One of the best thing I have learned from रतन टाटा कि उनका जब नैनो फेल हुई थी, but the case study, but the research, if you look behind nano, you will realize कि इतना अच्छा case study किसी कार का कभी था भी नहीं. But he failed. But that doesn't mean कि Tata Motors fail हुआ. That was just one thing which they failed. But they corrected, they improved a lot. आज भी नैनो बिकती है. It's more about कि आप लोग एक फेलियर को कितना ले रहे हो, उससे सीख कितना रहे हो, rather than आपके फेलियर्स को ही आप लोग प्राइमरी प्रायोरिटी पे देखते हो. So whenever you do a business or whenever you have personal life, professional life, family life, career, whatever, always think about कि ये चीज टेम्पररी आने वाली है. So I'm pretty much inspired by भगवद गीता. I was 19 years old जब मैंने भगवद गीता पढ़ी, almost 10 years before till now. भगवद गीता से काफी चेंज हुआ. So failures are temporary. Remember, people know you by your good deeds when you finish this life, and this is the best part when you live on this planet. So always remember, एक अच्छा इंसान जो रहेगा उसको लोग याद पक्का करेंगे. आपका जो काम है वो यहाँ पे रह जाएगा. लिव अ हैप्पी लाइफ जहाँ पे आप सारी चीजें बैलेंस करते हो. वन ऑफ माई बिगेस्ट ड्रॉबैक कि मैं करियर को काफी इंपॉर्टेंस देता हूँ. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि एक थोड़ा सा हेल्थी लाइफ जीना. फेलियर्स को ज्यादा सीरियसली मत लेना. बहुत अच्छे सक्सेस मिलता है यूके में. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, इंडिया से अच्छा सक्सेस रेट है इफ यू डू स्टार्टअप. तो स्ट्रगल के बाद में जो फेज आता है ना, दैट इज द ओनली सक्सेस. स्ट्रगल के बीच में अगर आप फंसते हो, you cannot see the success which is coming first.
Yes, that's well said. Thank you, Arjun. So let's talk about my students who are watching this video.
Yeah.
If today they have to start their own business in the UK,
okay,
any startup doesn't really matter. What is the first step they should do?
First step they should do is understand themselves what they are made for. अगर मैं स्टार्टअप में करियर कोचिंग के लिए बनाऊं, I have to understand what exactly I have to do in my startup. Okay. Whenever they go for the market research, think more about कि मार्केट में किस चीज की जरूरत है. अगर मुझे, if I know how to make, let's say, wooden toys, but is it really a market requirement right now? Think about it कि आप क्या हो और मार्केट में उस चीज की जरूरत है क्या. Once you match that thing, you can definitely give it a kickstart. Okay, so whenever you can, पैसे से बिजनेस बड़ा नहीं होता. To be really frank, पैसे से बिजनेस बड़ा नहीं होता. बड़ा बिजनेस बड़े आइडिया से बड़ा होता है. So think big. You will definitely achieve much more than other people are achieving right now. So there's a saying कि आप बड़ा सोचो and जो भी आएगा वो एटलीस्ट दूसरे लोगों से बड़ा होगा.
Okay, I'm going to add from my perspective what Arjun said. You have to find the problem in the market. You have to find a gap in the market. Doesn't matter what you are good at. If you identify that gap, if you are able to have find a solution for it, you are going to win.
Yeah. So problem, what I already told कि मैं unemployment को solve कर रहा था. So definitely problem solving. As a founder, people don't really understand actually कि what they're made for. Let's say मुझे career coaching नहीं आती, but I learn how to do क्योंकि मुझे उसमें interest था. Okay, so even if you want to do something, doesn't matter कि आपको वो आनी है चीज़, but better है कि आप थोड़ा practice करके आप सीख सकते हो, but definitely you will perform better than others कि जब आपके पास में वो interest हो.
ठीक है. So first thing that we've learned from Arjun now, find out your niche and the gap in the market, and then try whatever is your product or whatever is the solution, work on it. Second thing which I think I already learned from Arjun was start creating content about it
always.
On social media. Identify the platform where your audience is. Doesn't matter whether it's a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, it's banned in India, I don't know, or it's a LinkedIn or any other social platform, maybe Facebook. Identify where are your audience.
Always.
If they are using Facebook, you should be on Facebook. If they're using YouTube, you should be on YouTube. If they're using Instagram, you need to be on that. You need to identify that. Once you have done that groundwork, then start executing, by telling about your brand or the solution that you have built to identify the problem, right?
Yes.
What is the next step after that, Arjun?
So once you identify what you're made for, once you identify what market requirement is, then go for a problem solving. As I said, look for a problem, give the most simplest solution ever. To resolve the unemployment, my first thing was not to make a recruitment agency to start giving jobs, but just to post some content that there are some vacancies available here. If anybody wants, they can go for it. I have seen few of my known people who said that, okay, we have 2 vacancies, 3 vacancies in our store. And after uploading reel, they got 200 plus applications. This is a problem solving. So problem solving through content creation is very easy. If you definitely dedicate your time for that thing. Once you start solving the problem, look for what people are saying. लोगों को क्या चाहिए? लोग आपसे जॉब्स किस पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर में मांग रहे हैं? लोग आपसे क्या स्टार्टअप के लिए गाइडेंस मांग रहे हैं? क्या लोग आपसे इन्वेस्टमेंट करके सिर्फ उनका काम इजी करने के लिए देख रहे हैं? क्या लोग आपको सिर्फ एक मेंटर की तरह देख रहे हैं जो सिर्फ अपना काम चला रहा है, दूसरों का काम चला रहा है, बट वो हमारे लिए फिट नहीं है? लुक फॉर कि लोगों को क्या चाहिए. ऑलवेज कीप योर कमेंट सेक्शन ओपन, जहाँ पे लोग कुछ आपको एडवाइस देते हैं, कुछ बताते हैं. ऑलवेज आस्क क्वेश्चंस. मेरा कंपनी में व्हेनेवर वी वर्क, वी ऑलवेज आस्क व्हाट पीपल वांट. हम ये नहीं कहते कि हम ये देना चाहते हैं. वी ऑलवेज डिफाइन कि आपको जो चाहिए हम वो देंगे. दैट्स हाउ बिजनेसेस आर मेड. लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल. इफ you want to start a startup, there are only 2 ways. Okay, best ways you can easily execute. First thing is look for a problem. The more burning problem it would be, the more bigger business it will be. Simple. Look for a bigger problem. Make a simplest and smallest solution. No need to go big in day 1, and then sell that solution at some cost. Second, you make an innovation. Okay, you make a product from that. Take an innovation, make a product, and then start selling. I'll give both the example. Food is not available all the time, so people made Zomato. Dipinder Goyal made Zomato. Or let's say if you want to do an innovation, ChatGPT was an innovation. Every sector has got at least 10% problems. This is as per research. If anybody wants to go on Claude, 10% problem हर एक सेक्टर में होती है. Don't look for 90% people what they are providing. Problems 10% जो निकाल लो, उनको सॉल्व करके आपका बिजनेस हो सकता है. एंड आई ऑनेस्टली बेट यूके काफी छोटा देश है, 10% आपका बहुत जल्दी हो सकता है. विद इन 2 years you can rule that 10%. So that's how we make the business. This is the second step.
Okay, so what I have learned so far, identify a problem, so, then find a solution to it, create content on the social media, and then what was the last thing you said?
So then create content, then start selling at a smaller price.
Small price. Okay. So what's the next step? So you're saying ideally you don't require 5,000 pound or lakhs of rupees. You can. So what is the smallest amount that people need to even think to get into a business?
Honestly, zero. आपके पास में फोन है, आपके पास में Instagram account है, आपके पास में Wi-Fi internet है. That's it. I have spent zero amount for more than a year on my business. Zero amount.
Because you're just creating content using the social media.
मैंने माइक तक नहीं खरीदा था. To be honest. आपके पास में फोन है, आप वीडियो बना सकते हो, पोस्ट कर सकते हो, लोग आपको रीच आउट करेंगे. ट्रस्ट मी, देयर इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी इन कंटेंट क्रिएशन, जहां पे लोग आपको खुद बोलते हैं कि टेक दिस मनी बट हेल्प मी आउट.
ओके, बट नाउ I know you are investing, you are putting money in your business. So how do we move forward now with zero investment to some kind of investment? How much money is needed to start growing your business? Let's put it that way.
So always remember, first investment in your business will be in your learning, not outside anywhere. First investment will be your learning. So let's say you are buying a podcast, or let's say paid podcast, you are buying a ebook, you are buying a mentorship program from someone. Learn more about your business. Okay, get a mentor, tell them this is what you do, and get your business sorted. So once you have that clear idea, this is the smallest investment with biggest return you can do. Okay. Second thing, you don't need a fancy office, lighting, interior setups. You basically need a market presence. So get the cheapest office you can ever, but meet people in person. So offices in UK can literally start from £100 per month. So £100 per month is something where you can meet definitely multiple people every single day. Get in touch with them, get their mindset, ask them what we can help you out, ask what they are looking for from us. Start resolving things. Don't get too rigid कि हम लोग सिर्फ यही provide करते हैं. Don't get too rigid. Ask them what they want. ठीक है, अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट माइंडसेट दे आर लुकिंग फॉर, उनकी सिचुएशन समझ के लो. तो दैट्स व्हाट वी डू. हम लोग पहले क्लाइंट को हमेशा समझते हैं, कस्टमर को समझते हैं. आइडेंटिफाई कस्टमर. योर बिजनेस शुड बी कस्टमर लव्ड बिजनेस. कस्टमर को आपका बिजनेस पसंद आना चाहिए. सो लुक फॉर कस्टमर. कस्टमर बहुत अच्छे से आपको हेल्प कर सकते हैं इफ यू हेल्प देम प्रॉपर्ली. एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हेन यू हैव कस्टमर, ऑलवेज ओवर डिलीवर. दिस इज माय थंब रूल इन माय कंपनी. If we say we will deliver 10 things, we deliver more than 10. And a lot of things comes as a surprise in the later part of the mentorship program. तो हमेशा जितना मांगे उससे ज्यादा देना चाहिए. We Indians have mentality कि मिर्ची के साथ धनिया फ्री चाहिए. I always give that example. So मिर्ची के साथ धनिया फ्री दे सकते हो, भाई वो कस्टमर आपका है, सीधी बात है.
Okay, yeah. Arjun. Now coming back to the story, your story. Okay. Now considering, say you were on PSW, you did this, you were in a full-time job, you started your content creation for almost a year, you started getting business, so then you left your full-time job so that you could focus on this content creation, right? And then when you applied for self-sponsorship, let's get into little detail, because people will say, TK, now they are talking, but what is that? Now anybody who's looking for example, they have found a partner now or a director or authorizing officer for self-sponsorship. How much money do you think they need to show on the account? Because it's all about your skilled worker visa. Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. So self-sponsorship, first of all, non-technical, unofficial term है. But process पूरा legal है.
Correct.
Okay. Self-sponsorship के लिए आपको एक legal advisor की जरूरत हमेशा रहेगी.
True.
Okay. And you have to make a genuine business. तो जो लोग सच में business बना रहे हैं, self-sponsorship will be definitely a good route for them. Now, once you start making a business, it should be profitable. ओके सो एटलीस्ट 5,000 to 6,000 पर मंथ का आपका प्रॉफिट होना चाहिए. रीजन क्या आप एक स्किल्ड वर्कर को अफोर्ड कर सकते हो, विच इज 3,000 to 4,000 पर मंथ. सेकंड, अगर आप लोग उस बिजनेस को करते हो, सेल्फ स्पॉन्सरशिप में आपको सबसे पहले अपने बिजनेस के ऊपर लाइसेंस अप्लाई करना होता है, जो लॉयर करता है. ओके. सेकंड थिंग, आपको टियर 2 COS सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ स्पॉन्सरशिप, उसके ऊपर से टियर 2 खुद के लिए लेना होता है. दीज आर 2 स्टेप्स विच लॉयर विल डू कंप्लीटली. पूरे सेल्फ स्पॉन्सरशिप प्रोसेस में 90% आपका काम जो होता है दैट इज जस्ट टू मेक अ बिजनेस. तो जो जेन्युइनली बिजनेस करना चाहते हैं उनके लिए सेल्फ स्पॉन्सरशिप बहुत अच्छा एक रिवॉर्डिंग वे है. अब इसमें व्हेन यू स्टार्ट 15,000 to 20,000 you have to show in your bank account minimum as a 3 months of expenses, emergency funds before applying license. और tier 2 आने के बाद में you can manage your expenses however you can. But business account है, don't treat him like your saving account. ठीक है. Business account should be treated really in a good manner. Okay, आपका लॉयर आपको बताएगा, अकाउंटेंट आपको बताएगा. So treat it well. बिजनेस में प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी होना जरूरी है. It should have a genuine vacancy. It should be profitable enough कि वो अफोर्ड कर सके. And it should not be a custom. I mean कोई बनाई हुई वैकेंसी नहीं चाहिए. It should be a vacancy which is genuine enough.
Genuine for you.
Genuine enough. कि उसके बिना बिजनेस सच में अधूरा है. And home office will trust you.
Okay. And I have to remind to my audience. Now remember guys, not all the jobs are eligible for sponsorship. For example, what Arjun is giving. If he was talking about a restaurant, say you want to start your food business, it's a restaurant, you get a license as well. If you want to apply as a chef for self-sponsorship, that's not possible anymore because chef is not eligible it's not eligible code anymore for skilled worker visa. Okay. However, if you are a social media manager for that restaurant, you are eligible because that's one of the eligible code. This is a big differentiator. You need to understand, irrespective of whether you call self-sponsorship or a skilled worker visa, the job code that you assign to yourself, that needs to be eligible for sponsorship. If you don't know about it, I'll provide the links in my description. Go and make sure you understand which jobs are eligible versus which are not eligible. So do not waste your time, especially for people who got a retail outlet. If you want to be a retail store manager, you are not allowed for self-sponsorship. Remember, it's about that job code.
Okay, so I'll add one thing.
Go
very
for
precise. Visa जो होता है उसमें कोई job role है specific. So it's more about business. कोई भी रहो, do they have the real vacancy in that? Let's take an example. One of the job role which is marketing manager, which is needed in almost every business.
True.
Okay, but do you have that skill set to be a marketing manager? Have you actually worked on that business? Do you have Google Meta Ads records that you have spent on ads? Have you done influencer marketing for that business? Do you make content in that business? So they will check your skill set. Maybe it's a study, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a business you have done, maybe it's a freelance thing you have done.
Yeah.
Not every degree is connected to a job role.
Yeah.
Let's say if you want to be a marketing manager, no degree required.
True.
But if you want to be a doctor, you definitely need a degree. So connect your skill set with that particular vacancy which can be there. Maybe let's say off license.
Yeah.
Definitely there is no store manager job role. But there can be someone who's marketing manager. If your business is that big.
Yeah.
If you have genuinely helped the business to make the revenue with the help of marketing, go for it.
So online business, of course. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Exactly. So we are talking about, that's why job code is important. You have to identify which jobs you are eligible, which you identify with, and whether it's eligible for sponsorship or not. That is a very good differentiator that you should know.
To be honest, मैंने अपनी कंपनी में कंपनी रजिस्ट्रेशन और बैंक अकाउंट के अलावा नॉट अ थर्ड एनी डॉक्यूमेंट आई हैव मेड बाय माय सेल्फ.
Okay.
इमिग्रेशन लॉयर के हाथ में छोड़ दो. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, आपका काम बिजनेस करना है. डोंट पुट टू मच टाइम इनटू डॉक्यूमेंट पेपर जो और कोई बना सकता है.
That's true. Get the experts to do that difficult bit. You know, you are an expert in your niche. You're if a business owner or you're content creator, whatever you are. You do your best bit. The experts leave the remaining to the experts.
Minimum £100 per day minimum wage hai. You should make at least 200 per day in your business and work 7 days a week. That's my thumb rule. I work 7 days a week. Almost 3-4 साल हो चुका है.
Okay. So how was your application process like when you applied? How long did it take? For example, I get messages from students they had applied for say sponsorship. They've not got any response from the home office. How long did you take for the whole application process?
If you do, let's say if you start today. But you work really hard. Okay, you work every day. You work like at least 3 hours a day in your business. If you do service business, let's say marketing agency चला रहे हो, you do recruitment agency where you provide services. 3 to 4 months is a good time. You can definitely get sponsor license or let's say apply for sponsor license. Okay, because sponsor license tier 2, which is completely lawyer's job, not your job. So you just become eligible for applying license. If you do product business, let's say you sell any e-commerce business or if you do any watches business. Few of my clients are doing different business. Product business will take around 5 to 6 months. So let's say 3 to 6 months we can check the window. Service business a bit earlier. Product business a bit later. But it's more about how easily and how fast you become profitable. There are clients who apply after 2 months also for license, 1.5 months also. So you have to be very clear what kind of business you are doing and how much your hard work you are putting in that business.
Yeah, true. Thank you, Arjun, so far. So we have learned so much now from your journey, how you moved here from India to UK, what you studied, your struggle, your success stories now from student to business owner. Okay, so Arjun, I want to ask you, you mentioned in the introduction that you had taken a loan of around 25 lakhs Indian rupees, right? Around say 25,000 pounds. So when were you able to pay your loans back?
Okay, so first 6 months में मैंने वो अमाउंट रीपे किया जो मुझे अनयूज था, जिसकी मुझे जरूरत नहीं थी, तो काफी सारा डेट कम हुआ. एंड देन आफ्टर 6 months अराउंड जब मैंने थोड़ा सा फुल टाइम जॉब की तरफ मैं आ रहा था, तब मेरे थोड़े से एक्सपेंसेस बढ़ने वाले थे बिकॉज आई वाज शिफ्टिंग माय रूम. बट उसके बाद मैं स्टार्टेड पेइंग क्योंकि मैं ओवर टाइम करता था जॉब में.
Okay, so with your part time and a full time, then on an average of say 6 months to 1 year, you were able to pay.
6 months within 1 year आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हो अगर आप अच्छा कॉस्ट कटिंग कर चुके हो तो. अदरवाइज अराउंड 1.5 year later you can start repaying.
On an average, when I speak to students, they say 1.5 years.
1 to 1.5 year.
Yes, this is what generally I hear people saying that. Yeah, but it also depends on your lifestyle. It also depends how much you are controlling your expenses, or how much you are grinding yourself, means doing more hours than required. Maybe working extra hours, as Arjun was saying, 18 hours as well. He worked once, right, for long hours.
Yeah, so 18 hours, like basically you have to work on your own learning part as well.
Yeah, then only you improve your skills. If you improve your skills, then you get a better pay rate.
Yeah, so basically once you're a student, अच्छे से सीख लो, PSW get, you start executing things.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. I like that. Yeah. So because you have limited hours allowed legally during your student period, make it to use to learn it. And upskill yourself, because once you upskill yourself, you can earn better when you are allowed to work full time. Legally, you are allowed to work full time after your dissertation. Exactly, right. Okay, any final tips that you want to give to my students, especially the job market is quite difficult in the UK at the moment due to AI, due to layoffs and the war which is happening globally at the moment. There's a huge impact on the job market. What is one piece of advice to students who are watching this video and who are struggling with a job and they have taken quite a lot of debt from India?
So, not one advice, definitely. एक तो आपको स्किल सेट वो सीखनी जिसकी मार्केट में डिमांड आने वाली है या मे बी अभी है. सेकंड, आप लोगों को फ्लेक्सिबल रहना है थोड़ा सा, ठीक है. सिचुएशन आ सकती है बाहर कि लेट्स से वॉर है, कोविड है, एनीथिंग. सो बी फ्लेक्सिबल कि आप दूसरा जॉब कर सको. थर्ड थिंग, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि अंडर थिंकिंग करना, कभी भी ओवर थिंकिंग मत करना. अंडर थिंकिंग वाले ही लोग एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं कोई भी चीज़, या तो जॉब हो या तो बिजनेस हो. ओवर थिंकर सिर्फ बैठे रहते हैं. अंडर थिंकिंग करके एग्जीक्यूट बहुत जल्दी होता है. सो ऑलवेज अंडर थिंक एंड यू कैन डेफिनेटली क्रैक थिंग्स इन यूके.
Okay. So underthink means don't overthink
Don't
on a
overthink.
simple thing. Like
Don't
especially about the content creation when you said don't think
overthink.
about getting a camera, don't think of getting a fancy lights or
Yeah.
mic. If you have a phone, just any phone,
Don't do too
smartphone.
much. Yeah.
Just start with it.
Just start.
But you need to talk sense as well, I'm going to say. Okay. When you make video, make sure you are giving some value
Yeah,
to the
always
customer.
give value. Always give value.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter. Your video has got good aesthetics.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. For that, you don't worry about it. As long as
Value
you're giving
always.
content, people will value it and they will, of course, reach out to you for any kind
Yes,
of thing.
of course.
Okay. So, thank you, Arjun, so far. And I think I have learned from your journey, and I think all the students who are struggling as well. One thing that I'm going to tell my students, again, the job market is quite tough, but with the right strategy, you can still get your job in the UK. And sponsorship is difficult. In fact, there's a quite recent data which is published that already 182,000 students already went back to India. So roughly 90-95% of students who come here, they're not landing a sponsor job. So try to find out, can you do a startup? What is a startup, how to build a startup? And if you want to learn about it, catch me and Arjun in the next podcast. I will provide the links later soon.
Stay tuned for more updates. Follow that Arjun Sharma and yours knowledge buddy.
Thank you, guys. And also, I'll be providing the link of a business networking link that you were talking about.
I'm running a community where we help people to start a startup from basics. Even if you have zero, but you have pretty much confidence that you'll definitely do, you're ready to do hard work, you can join the community.
Okay, I'll provide the link as well. So anybody who wants to learn how to build and start your own business like a startup in the UK, Arjun is there to help you end to end with a proper mentorship and coaching program.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, good. Thank you, Arjun. All the best to you in all the different kind of works which you're doing.
Thank you so much, Sarika. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.